So on my last theory video, I got a comment that caught my interest. It was a comment by Lyrical Cleric, and it said this. Considering that Akatosh gifted the Dragonborn with dragon blood and the ability to absorb dragon souls, it seems like Akatosh wants the last Dragonborn to be the next Alduin. It might have even been the case that Miraak was supposed to be the real Alduin and instead served Hermaeus Mora rather than doing his job of swallowing the world. Zathungerda is the definition of Alduin the World Eater, yet Alduin in-game gives dragons back their souls. I think the last Dragonborn is actually the World Eater described by the prophecy. Now this really caught my interest. It's not something I'd ever really considered before, so let's explore what we have here. Now the prophecy itself doesn't give us much to go off of. The only mention of a World Eater is in the final line. The World Eater wakes and the wheel turns upon the last Dragonborn. However, the wheel turns upon the last Dragonborn is an interesting line. The concept of the wheel has often been used to describe the Orbis, the universe of the Elder Scrolls. Now the obvious answer here is that it's simply saying the universe is in the Dragonborn's hands, because if they don't stop Alduin, he'll end everything. But it could mean that the universe is in their hands, because they have the power to end it all. If we're following on from the last theory, then we know Akatosh wants the Dragonborn to defeat Alduin because Alduin doesn't want to end the world. Perhaps Akatosh needed Alduin's soul to later imbue the Dragonborn with the power to end reality. The point about Miraak and Hermaeus Mora is interesting to consider too. We know Mora is constantly scrying the tides of fate. Perhaps he saw events taking place in which Miraak and the Dragonborn would eventually take on the role of World Eater, and that is why he decides to corrupt them and keep them in Apocrypha. He can't take knowledge from worlds that doesn't exist after all. Now, I don't really expect this theory to be going in my headcanon anytime soon, but it's definitely a fun one to consider. It's always interesting to think about the potential motives of gods. I did try and look in some other areas, maybe something with Mephala, as she is the so-called sister of Hermaeus Mora, but nothing really came to mind there. But this was a very fun one to think about.